That's your money saying it's time for a McDonald's run. Because with new McValue at McDonald's, you get more than you expect. Like buy a 6-piece McNuggets and add a McChicken for just $1. Your money says let's go. Get more than you expect with new McValue. Prices and participation may vary. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Welcome to Talking Real Money, 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. I'm Tom Cock. Having completed his re-entry, Don McDonald joins us now on Talking Real Money.
My feed was a little behind. I don't know why.
His translunar injection completed, and he is back at the controls.
I got an interesting note before we get going. In the last hour, and for those of you listening to the podcast, you'll have to go back to the previous day's podcast. We had a woman call about Series E bonds and converting them into something else, and we suggested that she just ignore cashing them in. Well, I got taken to task by someone who said, in the year they mature, you must pay the taxes. But
I didn't know that. Okay.
Well, but let's try this on for a minute. I guarantee you, I have a whole bunch of Series E bonds out there.
They're not going to come knocking on the door and say, hey, by the way.
That somebody gave me.
Yeah, they're never going to know.
And I don't even know where they are.
That's a good point. Good point. We're not recommending that you break tax law, but
I didn't even know it was a tax law, but I can tell you, I have a bunch of bonds that are more than 30 years old, and I don't even know where they are. Okay. I know I can look them up, but, you know, my grandfather would give me like a $50 E-bond every once in a while when I was a kid. I don't know where those went.
Yeah, exactly.
And I certainly don't know my grandfather's Social Security number to go look them up since he's been gone for a very long time.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Okay.
I guess I'm violating the law.
Complex question than we could probably answer. We'd love to take it.
Tom wants the easy, because it's hot in Seattle.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, it taxes your brain, the heat, and so he wants the softballs.
So hit me something hard there, and we'll do it. I'm fascinated. No, I was kidding. I gave the number, right? 855-935-TALK. So we'll take anything.
You're like doing it great. Good thing you're doing it by yourself next week. You're getting good at this.
Well, next week I get the great Paul Merriman joining me. He wrote me today, says he'll be here. So by hook or by crook. So that'll be fun. You're speaking. You're speaking more slowly because he speaks more slowly now.
Paul's still alive.
Oh man, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you say that. I mean, but speaking of, Paul's a guy who
didn't we work for him a long time ago? It seems like such a long time ago.
I think I figured out he will be in October. He will be 76. I think I have that right. Born the same year as
the spirit
Jim
of
Morrison.
76.
But I still find this whole aspect of retirement. Paul is never going to retire. Okay, we had Bob last hour who quit at 55. Good for him. I am going to be a lousy retiree. I already know that, right? I've already started to put together a list of the things I can do when I quit working full time.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Before you move forward, what are you going to do?
Well, I have a bunch of things. I'm going to be a docent at the Museum of Flight. No, I'll do something in soccer.
Oh, that's a good thing. Okay,
I'll do some stuff.
I think people like hearing the ideas. That's why I wanted to ask you that.
Yeah, I have
a
some
docent
stuff like
at the
that.
Museum of Flight.
Yeah, I could do that. 20 hours a week or something. I'd be okay with that. But the point is, that's a very personal thing. So when I read these headlines that says 1 in 4 people don't plan to retire. First of all, it's not realistic to plan your life to say, I'll work until I die, because most people, something comes along that keeps them from doing that, whether it's you don't feel well enough to go to work, you got to take care of somebody else. Sometimes your employer says, we got this we're going to move another direction.
Can't say that.
Well, they don't say it around age, but they might say, we have another direction we're going to go. So I think it's very unrealistic, but we both read this article recently from the Washington Post. It said 1/4 of Americans say they're not going to retire. You will retire at some point.
But I see 2 reasons why they might say that. One, which is the less likely of the 2, is that they just love to work so much they never want to stop.
No, the bigger reason.
I am really suspicious, though, that the reason is they didn't plan for retirement. They don't have the money, and they're going, there's no way I can survive.
And we do run into people say, well, I'll just work till I fall. And that's not realistic either.
And even Walmart will fire you once you fall down enough. So you're out of luck.
You're full of great news today. But let's just say you got.
I know. I saw I was at a Walmart the other day, and there was this 80-year-old woman, and she was doing she had the little door desk where she could lean on.
Yeah,
it.
right.
And I thought,
okay.
I can see why she got the door desk job.
Because that's what she could do.
She could fall over in any moment.
But what if you're 60?
Heaven, Walmart.
What if you're 60 and you have nothing saved? Then what?
You're in trouble.
Okay, but then what should you do?
Well, if you plan on working, then the next 10 years of your work life or so should be devoted to learning to reduce your cost of living.
And this is something
to help
that
you ease into it.
You've always focused on in your classes. You've told people, you ask people, hey, have you ever had to adjust your spending because your income went down?
Everybody
kind of
has.
sits around and goes, yeah, kind of. That's happened. Yeah, you're right. I didn't go out to dinner as much. In Don's case, I only stayed at the 4-star trailer park instead of the 5, whatever it was. Whatever thing that changed your life, right?
Okay, we're going to talk about the trailer park thing in a minute.
Sorry.
No,
Did that come out wrong? I don't know.
No, it's fine. I have a report to make.
I know you do. And I was trying to keep it to the second segment because I thought the number of radios that would go, not Don's trailer.
No. Well, this is important for my podcast listeners.
So
anyway.
You need to adjust your cost of living. You need to start saving something and figuring out how you can make those lines intersect when you actually do quit working.
Ooh, that's a good way of putting it. 855-935-TALK. Call us.
And Don are talking real money.
Do you need a little help with your investments? Set up a free, no-obligation appointment with one of our advisors at TalkingRealMoney.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Yeah, that really important stuff that fuels your existence and funds your future, a future that will probably happen to most of you, and it will probably include retiring.
Yeah.
I hate to say. You may be able to semi-retire. A lot of people pull that off.
Well, yeah,
in retirement.
We've had articles where there's people that drive around the country that get various jobs in various places at different times a year, et cetera, et cetera. So
lots of Amazonians.
Yeah, exactly.
They do the Amazon thing.
That's right.
I know a couple really well who ran into some tough times with their family and retired without wealth and just Social Security, and they work at a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And that's how they make ends meet.
Do you get free chicken if you work there?
You get a discount on chicken, I think. I don't know if you get it free. You would think you'd get it free.
Chick-fil-A, I mean, that is one of the great business stories of the last 5 years. Truly.
Oh, absolutely. They have
phenomenal.
The third highest grossing fast food chain in the world.
And the Wall Street Journal did a piece on them a couple weeks ago, and one of the biggest reasons they believe they're successful is, do you know this?
They're polite.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They say please, they thank you, and you know what they say if you say thank you for something? Do you know what they say?
It's my pleasure.
It's my pleasure. They don't say no problem, man, because that's very poor English, and I hate that phrase.
Before the show today, I went to this Chick-fil-A down the street.
Of course you did.
From Hamilton, Virginia.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very busy like the Florida one that I go to.
Yes.
But I went up to get a refill on my water. I said, hey, gentlemen, can I get a refill on my water? And they said, yes, sir.
There you go. Okay.
Refilled it right away, and I said, thank you very much. And I went, once again, here it comes. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, they say that has a lot to do with how people end up feeling. I think it has something to do with the chicken tastes good, but that's just me. I don't know.
The chicken is good, but the ambiance, it's so... Remember the reason for the success of McDonald's back in the day?
Yes.
Was consistency,
that's
consistency,
true.
consistency.
Clean, too.
The food is going to taste the same.
That's right.
That they were very closely watched. Their timing, they had their timing down. They had their quality control issues down. Everything came from the same place. They were consistent. Chick-fil-A is consistent. No matter where you go, they treat you well.
Call 1-800-CHICKEN to get your franchise right now. That's Chick-fil-A.
And that's the other thing. You can't even buy a franchise.
I know. It's kind of weird. They went into all that. It's very strange. So anyway,
it's different.
We didn't even give the number. We
got so caught up in the chicken. There's another one.
No, that is the other end of the spectrum. That's going to be your hangout.
855-935-TALK. 855-935-8255.
I want to be the guy who sits on the burger. I want to sit on the burger in the picture.
Oh, at Powell Sudden Service?
Powell Sudden. Type that into the internet. You want to see a wacky-looking fast food place.
Restaurant.
That's strange.
Very successful.
How soon does it open in Abington? Your
it
paths
opens
crossing?
this fall in Abington.
Right
this
about
fall.
the time you're getting
the
there.
Powell Sudden Service.
Right,
Now, here's the thing. A little update on Don's road trip.
Okay. I'm going to come back in like 15 minutes. Thank you all for being part of the program. Don, go ahead.
I've called this the summer of my discontent.
I think it is.
Because this has just been
everything that could have gone wrong.
Deaths in the family.
So we were talking about Apollo 11. Now think of Apollo 13. There you go.
Apollo 13.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me. My 10 cans of the moon was I was supposed to, as I've mentioned,
Yes.
Debbie and I were going to drive across the country with our
Bullet.
1989 Airstream tagging along behind us, and we did well. We went to Charleston.
you got like 40 miles out of town. You're cranking it, brother.
We went to
Good job.
Huntington Beach State Park in South Carolina. Then we went to this beautiful Airstream park in Virginia, where the Airstream proceeded to have a nervous breakdown.
I think I got nervous by the fact that you still had 3,000 miles to drive or something.
It had an electrical neurological breakdown. And I called Airstream of Virginia, owned by your buddy Marcus Lemonis.
Oh, I didn't know he owned it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he owns it. It's one of the few Airstream dealers he owns.
Wow.
So I call and I go, hi,
Marcus?
I'm having a real problem.
Tom told me you'd take my call. Okay. No.
She goes, we're taking appointments for August 24th.
And today would be July 17th.
It was July 17th.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we're taking appointments for August 24th. I said, so I guess that means I need to leave it. She goes, yeah, you can leave it here. So my Airstream is now sitting at Airstream of Virginia in Ashland, Virginia, near Richmond.
And how close is Airstream of Virginia to the actual Atlantic Ocean?
No, it's a ways.
Okay,
it's
you couldn't just shove it.
Do you know your Civil War history,
not
laddie?
Really well.
They didn't invade Richmond by sea.
Okay, but is it close to any major water body that you could give it a little?
The push? James River.
Could you just give it a little shove there?
Give it a little shove to collect the insurance.
I'm just saying. I'm not suggesting insurance fraud.
Progressive Tom is just joking.
I'm not I wouldn't even put the claim in. It's just the.
So here's what we're going to do now. Yeah. We put our bags in the back of the Nissan Armada.
Yeah.
And this week we're going to go down to Abington and close on our new house right next to Powell Sudden Service. And then we're going to drive from there to Lake Chelan to spend a few days bobbing on the lake with Tom.
Yeah. Or sleeping on the boat, whichever.
Or whatever. Yeah. And then into Seattle, where I'm coming out to do 2 brand new classes.
Yeah, those are going to be good because this is one of the areas with a lot of questions on.
I've just created this class. Yeah. It is going to be phenomenal. Mm-hmm. The video in it is awesome.
What is the over-under on you actually making it to Seattle, though? That's
cars under warranty.
Okay.
Cars under warranty, brand new Nissan. It's going to be there.
See if they can meet you in Indianapolis to make sure the thing gets all the way out here. So
we're going. Let's see. We're hitting Lexington, Davenport, Iowa.
Never miss it.
Gillette, Wyoming.
Sure. Gillette,
Spokane,
Wyoming.
Yeah,
you're going to be close to the Trump Tower there in southern Wyoming, right?
Is there a Trump? I thought they call that Devil's Tower.
Oh, Devil's Tower. I had it backwards. Sorry. That didn't mean anything at all by that either, by the way. So that's just my slip of the tongue.
Trump Tower.
Meant nothing at all by that. So nothing, period. Please don't call.
Exactly. Anyway. Tom is not being political. Tom is trying to be funny.
Exactly. Trying. That'd be the emphasis there. All right. So now that we got that out of the way. Okay. So
that did not take the whole hour.
Yeah, I know. It should have had you gone into more detail, but you're kindly leaving
Well, I also got the flu.
Yeah, I know.
The dog got sick. I'm just having a miserable trip. And it's it feels like 110 degrees outside of Washington, D.C.
Good Lord. It's good. If you're writing a book, don't use my name,
God
okay?
bless America.
So if you have something money-related, feel free to call us, 855-935-8255.
I do. I spent a fortune on fixing that Airstream up, and it's still not working.
I know. And by the way, so where's the studio now? Because wasn't the studio in the Airstream?
Okay, you're looking at it. It's
I know.
now gone portable.
It's just sort of wherever.
Well, the good thing is I brought the backup version of the Studio, which is this little Shure thing.
Crazy. Oh, Dawn. Yes. Tune in tomorrow for As the Dawn Turns.
Yeah. Oh, I hit the mute button. Well, we're gonna be back with more, though. We've got a lot more to talk about. We do, and we would love to hear from you at 855-935-TALK. 855-935-8255. Give us a call.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
It may not be the sexiest website in the world, but it's your one-stop shop for real money information, TalkingRealMoney.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
Your money and what you need to do with it to enjoy the future you deserve to have. And there are a lot of people out there who are selling things. There are a lot of products out there that offer certain benefits. But you have to remember that rarely does anyone talk about the detriments of these products.
You know, one of the products that definitely is not purchased but is sold is an annuity, right? I mean, this is something that some genius came up with 50 years ago. Right. Well,
I think it was longer. No. Annuities go back hundreds of years.
Yeah, right. No, but originally, the idea that you worked for a period of time and you got paid back for your labor over a period, that was annuitizing, right? Yeah. The value of that. Right.
A pension, a traditional company pension.
That makes sense.
Is an annuity.
There's nothing wrong with that. Then when the insurance business got involved and tried to make it like trickier, it got not trickier but more complex,
less transparent.
But there still are, and we've told people this, in some circumstances, if you really are concerned about taking the volatility of stock and bond markets, of variations in your value of the money that you own, that you have, that sometimes a single premium immediate annuity can make sense.
But that being said, they do have pitfalls that aren't discussed. Yeah, they might make sense if you can find a very inexpensive one, and finding a very inexpensive one means a low commission product.
Yeah.
Because they tend to pay you more if they pay the salesperson less, and that can be hard to do. But the other thing you need to bear in mind is how much risk are you willing to take, and how much are you willing to give up to reduce that risk? And I think a lot of people forget this part. The type of annuity I'm talking about, there are a lot of different types. There's variable annuities and equity indexed annuities and variations on every version of those. But the basic annuity is called a single premium income annuity.
This is
or median annuity. Single premium median annuity.
Give the insurance company the money. Mm-hmm. They give you a certain amount back every month.
Typically, yeah.
At
they give you a check.
A generally low interest rate on the money you gave them.
But they make it appear that it is a high interest rate because what is coming back to you is also what they factored in as a return of a portion of your principal. So your return rate can look like 6 or 7%, when in reality it's 2 or 3%. The rest of the money is coming back from your principal. Let me put that in a way you can really understand it. Let's say you're in your 70s and you get a single premium immediate annuity paying out, you put $500,000 into it, and this thing is paying out a couple $1,000s a month or $1,500 a month. And you collect your $1,500 a month for 2 years or 3 years. You put $500,000 in, and then you die. Well, you're done. You collected now $100,000 or less, and the insurance company gets to keep the rest forever and ever. Amen.
That doesn't sound like a very good deal.
Right, the deal, and that's the deal with annuities. You're making a bet with an insurance company. You're saying, I am going to live for a really long time and suck you guys dry. They're saying, no, you're not. You're going to die sooner than later, and we get to keep your money.
They have like actuaries that spend a lot of time on this, probably.
Probably, yeah. Of course they do. That's what they do.
Smart people that look at the problem.
But you know what? I kind of see I see a Twilight Zone or a Black Mirror episode hearing this, where insurance companies sell annuities and then they hire people to knock you off early?
Oh, this show took a very dark turn all of a sudden.
Dark turn, didn't it? Well, think about that. That'd be a great kind of horror thing, wouldn't it? It'd be shocking. Big insurance company killing off its customers. I'm kidding. They don't do that. 855-935-TALK.
Talking real money.
Just about everything you need to know about money can be found at our website, TalkingRealMoney.com.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Welcome back to Talking Real Money. 855-935-TALK. 855-935-8255 is our number. As we like
I've
to
been
say,
banished to the back bench.
as we like to say around the office, a small step for Don, a giant leap for investors. No, we don't really say that, but I kind of keeping with the theme. Yeah, I know. Well, it's kind of the Apollo day. Just a few hours away, right? They would have landed 50 years ago, I think. I think it was like late in the afternoon or something.
I remember watching it.
I do too. So, but it's all about you. Let's go to the phones, right? How's that sound? Mike joins us on.
Can you hear me?
We hear you fine. How can we help you?
Yeah, I have a quick question. So is there like, I think I'm doing pretty good for retirement. I got Social Security, I got a Navy retirement. I work for Boeing, so I got to retire out of there. And I got an annuity, which sometimes I wish I hadn't gotten. It's worth about probably $80,000 when I retire in 4 years. And then when I retire from Boeing here in about 4 years, I think my 401k or VIP, as we call it, should be worth probably about $200K. Is there a formula for, how long that $200K will last if I take out like $1,000 a month?
Yes, there is.
There's a formula, but it's not an absolute.
Right,
there are approximations that will kind of get you there, and that's one of the reasons. As I was talking about annuities in the last half hour, this is one of the reasons people go with annuities is because they don't want approximations; they want exact. And to get exact means giving something up, and that is some of your money, possibly.
Right.
But what's your favorite, Don? What's your favorite retirement calculator online? Everybody has them.
I generally send people to Vanguard's.
Yeah, so you could go to Vanguard.com and look at their retirement calculator. Mike, you'd simply enter in some of those numbers, and that will help give. And at what age will you be retiring, roughly?
66 and a half.
Okay. So you can, and you still have not taken Social Security yet, correct?
No.
Okay.
No. The wife has, but it's not very much. She's not getting very much.
Well, would half of your benefit be more than hers?
Oh yeah, way more than.
Well, then she's going to want to file on yours to take half of yours instead of just hers. How long ago did she take it?
She started it last year about this time.
You want to talk to somebody about that. But setting aside that issue for a moment, because what you're really asking is how much can you take out of the $200,000 every year to add to your naval pension and thank you for your service and your Social Security. That is, this is a number that bandied about in the industry, the 4% rule, right? If you take out 4% a year of that portfolio, you won't run out of money. As Don points out, that may be true. If you just put it all in money market, then yeah, you'll run out. Even if you just put it all in bonds, it probably would run out.
You're going to run out
15 or 20 years. If you built a somewhat moderate portfolio with some amount in stocks and some amount in bonds, you probably would not run out if you took 4% out a year for the next 20 to 25 years. But you could go do some of this on your own. I think Don was looking up on one of the calculators right now. Right, Don?
I'm actually putting it up on TalkingRealMoney.com as we speak. It is there now under the Explore button, which is a woman listening to her podcast. An older woman. So
but you
click
could
on that.
You could do your own calculation there, Mike, and maybe that would give you some security around the fact that your money would last for a long period of time.
Right.
And how much you take out.
Run that calculator. It's really easy.
And that's you said that's on where again?
TalkingRealMoney.com.
Go to TalkingRealMoney.com. Look for the picture of the older woman listening to an iPad or iPod or some sort of device or a phone, and click on that button, and it'll say Vanguard Retirement Calculator. The link is right there. Click on that and just put in numbers. Play with numbers.
Oh,
Very
okay.
helpful. Okay?
I appreciate that. Well, I got to go to work.
Good for you.
All right,
Good
well,
for you.
Take care of us all. Take
right,
care of those
thank you
planes.
very much.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. 855-935-TALK. That's our phone number, 855-935-8255. Really important conversation about a really important topic, because if you don't have money in your life, you don't have much life.
No, you really
You
don't.
really don't.
You don't. I mean, it's the
And-
center of so many things.
It is. I mean, we wouldn't have gotten to the moon
in
without
today's
it.
dollars, they said $140 billion. I don't believe that. I think it had to be way more expensive than that, but that's what they said.
Well, you know, those early 60s administrations, they were frugal. Those were some frugal
Old
guys.
times indeed.
Yeah, they could make deals on Capitol Hill.
Are talking real money.
Download the advisor interview form and find out if your advisor's a fiduciary at TalkingRealMoney.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
You know, I'm playing around with this Vanguard retirement calculator during the break. It's pretty robust. You can even add in your Social Security, expected Social Security income. It's a good little calculator.
Can you add in how the cost of repair of your Airstream and all that, the variable, that stuff? The pollution cost it will be when you dump it in the Atlantic Ocean. They add that in there.
I think I pretty much just have to add those in manually.
Okay, just put those, make sure those are there.
Can I give the number now?
Yeah, please do.
Are you done harassing me?
Waiting for the Trans Dawn injection. Go.
855-935-TALK. That's our number. Give us a call. And thank goodness Meg's there to help me out. Hi, Meg. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hi, Meg. How can we help you?
Hi. I'm going to be 64 this year, and I work for the city of Seattle. But I'm planning on I'll get like 60% of my pay for retirement, and then Social Security. But I have an LPL fund.
Yeah.
Do they?
Are you
I
are you joking around with somebody on the side while we're talking to you?
Why are you laughing about
You're
the fact that
laughing.
you work for the city of Seattle?
I work for the city of Seattle.
Why is that funny? Do you have my car in impound or something? You guys holding it out front, or what's the deal? I didn't know.
Oh, no,
The
no,
joke's
no.
on me.
She's got your car and your dog.
Well, you can keep the dog. I'll take the car. That's no joke.
There's
what-
enough dogs out there.
No kidding. No kidding. Well, so what's your question here?
So, I have my LPL fund at the Boeing Credit Union.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
could I be paying less fees
Yes.
Yes.
if I moved it somewhere else?
I love Boeing employee BECU because I'm a member. I love them. I hate the fact that
I love them.
I do, but I hate the fact that they work with LPL, Linsco Private Ledger. It's a brokerage. The fees are higher. They don't have to act in your interest, and I can almost guarantee when I look at the fund they have you in, it will be an actively managed, relatively high expense fund. Almost guarantee it.
With a commission up
Yeah.
front
So-
or a commission along the way. And,
Yes,
and I would
I
just
pay
may I say
going
this real
in.
quickly? I want to I want to shame Boeing Credit Union. You are lazy. You guys are lazy, and you and other banks too. You are incredibly lazy when it comes to picking your financial planners who work in your branches. You should only have 100% fiduciary advisors in your branches. You are doing your customers a horrific disservice, Boeing and others, and you know who you are. Almost
Everybody.
credit
Yeah.
union and
I
bank
know.
in America has horrible wealth management.
I don't know why that is. I think it's just legacy. It's just the way we've done it for a long
it's simple.
time.
It's just simple. LPL comes in and says, "We'll do it for you, and we'll give you some money."
Yeah. Okay. So it's about the money then.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, the
So
short
I thought-
the short answer is yes, and we would recommend if you're going to do this on your own, you go to Vanguard.com, you open an account there, you move the money from Linsco Private LPL, to Vanguard.
LPL. They don't call themselves
I know.
Linsco Private
I'm
Ledger
making
anymore.
myself
It's just
look really
LPL.
old. Yeah. Okay. So
Right.
yeah, I would
So
do that.
move it to a Vanguard fund,
Yep.
and I can just roll it in there.
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome.
And you know, those Vanguard people are really helpful too. You call them on the phone, tell them what you want to do. They'll help you. They'll help guide you through it. They'll send you some prospectuses on some funds that might be appropriate. Although we have a 2-fund solution that you can find at TalkingRealMoney.com.
Easy.
It's so simple and so easy. And do you know how much it costs a year, Meg?
Ugh.
If you had a 50% stock, 50% bond portfolio, the total expenses would be 0.075%.
Tiny,
that
tiny,
compares
tiny.
with probably 0.75% for the LPL funds. So it's about 10 times cheaper.
Do you have to pay going in, or
No
commissions.
No.
Oh, okay.
There are no salespeople involved. That's the problem with an LPL is that they are all compensated on commissions. It's a sales job.
I hope that helps.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just go to
So
Vanguard.
they're looking out for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Wink, 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 wink. Looking out for you.
well, you know.
And by the way, Meg,
fiduciary, I've been kind of following you guys, so
that's very kind.
I didn't
fiduciary.
think these guys were
Nope, they're
fiduciary.
not. By the way, if you keep the dog, make sure you leave no food on the counter. Just a little warning there.
Oh, I
You
have
really
a
think
big
she's
enough
like the
dog.
dog
She
catcher?
eats everything.
I don't think she's the dog catcher.
Okay, she said she was keeping the
Nope,
dog. Give me the
not the
car
dog
back.
catcher.
All right, so okay,
She has her own dog.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I have my own
Thanks,
dog.
Mick. Thanks, Mick.
Hey, thank you.
No, thank you.
It's so nice to know that Tom harasses people other than me.
Well, but you made a very good point. I mean, if you walk in the bank,
Finally.
you think you're going to get well treated, especially a credit union, because you're a member of a credit union, right? You're a member of it, and you're not, because they hand you off to a commissioned salesperson. It's awful.
You know, USAA has. I'm a USAA member. I
Yeah,
love
me too.
USAA.
Me too. Yep.
I love their insurance products.
Yep.
I mean, their banking's fine, but they have horrible wealth
Yep,
management.
they do.
Horrible.
It's high expense.
But the good news
same thing, yep.
is that it looks like Schwab's going to buy it.
I saw that recently. Yeah, that they're going to
So
take them
good
over.
for USAA members, and it would be wonderful if all of you banks go to Charles Schwab or TD Ameritrade or go to a fiduciary fee-only advisor,
Yep.
and you will make. Okay, let me just tell you something right up front. You're going to make a little less money, but you are going to do a serious service for your clients.
By the way,
as opposed to a disservice.
It matches up with how a credit union treats you. It'll be a better,
Of course.
It'll be a better deal all the way across. So
I get commercial banks having horrible,
Yeah, right.
horrible investing advice. I get that. I mean, they're all about bottom line, but you're a credit union. You're not about bottom line. You're about breaking even. That is your goal as a credit union. Don't make money, break even. Well, give your clients the best possible service. And Boeing, you could put yourself in such an enviable competitive
I agree.
position by saying, we are Boeing Credit Union. We only act as fiduciaries.
by the way, they don't use Boeing anymore. Now it's just BECU.
BECU.
Yeah, so
I know. It's
and
like
by the way,
Linsco Private
I know,
Ledger.
it's too
It's LPL.
complicated. I do want to mention the two fund portfolio you just mentioned at Vanguard. I will be sharing that with you on Wednesday if you attend the Science of Retirement Investing, the Lunch Ed, which still has a few seats left.
And Tom will actually personally be serving lunch. He'll be in the back prepping those sandwiches.
No, we're all eating astronaut food. I've got tubes of toothpaste that I'll be handing out when you get there. You can take the whitener or the whichever one you want. So,
and a lukewarm glass of Tang.
good news is the bathrooms are a lot better than they were on Apollo 11. You got that going for you. So, anyway, join us Wednesday, noon, Science of Retirement Investing. Sign up now, talkingrealmoney.com.
It's a lovely Panera lunch, actually.
It is a
and
good
it really
lunch.
Is.
Well, we
it's
get a lot
good
of compliments.
lunch.
Yeah, it is a good lunch.
Yeah.
So if
We-
you're just
we give you
coming
good
for the
lunch.
food,
Well-
I mean, how much is a ticket?
$15.
Okay, so I mean, hard to even get a decent lunch anymore for $15 as it is.
And an education.
Well, that's true. Hope the education's worth it. It will be, guaranteed. Out of this world financial advice.
I
promise.
If you don't believe the education alone is worth the $15.
Oh, we'll give you your money back.
Tom will hand you $15 on the spot.
Absolutely. I'll take it from some
You know
other
what?
employee,
We've
but I'll
actually
hand
had
it to you.
Yeah, we're to be going back among the support staff. Going, you guys got $1?
$15?
Yeah, $2?
There you go.
Here's a hat. Can you contribute? And remember, you can call 855-935-TALK 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and leave your questions to be answered on future podcasts. Thank you so much, Tom, now just go away. I'll be back in a minute.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Would you like to talk to a real investment advisor for free? Set up an appointment at talkingrealmoney.com.
your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
And bear in mind, this is the last Science of Retirement Investing class to be held for probably a couple months. So go get your tickets now at TalkingRealMoney.com, TalkingRealMoney.com.
We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately and consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestory, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information and disclosures. That should keep the lawyers happy.